It's Havaya Mighty through the screen.
Is this your intro?
Yeah.
Oh.
No.
Is that what? Oh.
I don't think we're gonna. No, that was not serious.
Is it supposed to be serious?
No. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Like, we've known each other for a little minute, but it wasn't until Polaris 2019 that we got to like share a stage together, and I actually got to, present the 2019 Polaris Award to you.
Really unreal.
And it's so beautiful because I think we're obviously making music in very different genre, and yet I think the pathways and trajectories that we're using to share our messages, use those spaces to tell truth and to bring a perspective that hasn't really had a whole lot of airtime. How do you thread that needle in terms of like talking about really big issues that affect like your whole community, but also like really telling a super personal narrative too?
That's a really great question. I think like we see what's happening in the world and like we learn from other people's experiences. And I think it's just bridging like the things that are directly impacting me with the experiences that are not quite my own, and recognizing that there's so much impact lost if I'm only speaking from my experience. I think it's just really important to me to write from a place that is really authentic and specific to me, but also write from a place of understanding my own ignorances and things that I'm learning as I'm navigating through life. And then that works its way into the creation. When you travel, you communicate with other people, musicians or other, you're learning what those experiences are, and they relate to your own experiences, and you can blend those into kind of creative narratives. And so I think that's what I do with a lot of the songwriting. I wanted to ask you the proper pronunciation of Wolastok.
Oh, no, it's pretty close, though. So we would say Wolostok. That's the river that my ancestors come from. So when we talk about the river, we say that's the Wolostok. And then when we talk about our language, we say we speak Wolostokwe. We speak the language of that river.
What inspired you to decide to do a project specifically in that language? Was that something that you had conceived the idea of long before actually creating the process, or
No, not at all. The process actually started when I was sitting around like a kitchen table of one of my elders named Maggie Paul. And Maggie is a song carrier from our nation, and she knew that I was really interested in our traditional music. And she said, if you want to really know about the traditional music, like the old songs, you can't stay here. You got to go to the museum. Just in one generation, we've come to a really scary place, right? Where like we only have less than 100 speakers left. And most of those are among the old generation, among the elders. And so, for me, it was really important that even if the audience wasn't going to understand everything that I was singing about or what I was saying, there were people that would understand, and I made it for them. Absolutely.
Your project, you're introducing people to a lot of firsts, things that shouldn't be firsts, particularly in Canada. Is that the reason you chose to do this project, or how did the concept of the project come to be?
For me, it was about accessibility. It was about making sure that our young people could feel represented. Like I could go on a stage and start half of my speech in the language. And that's just to them. Music is such a starting place for cultural survival and revival.
Agreed. Yes.
And I think like when we bring music back, we're going to bring our dances back, we're going to bring the ways we gather back, and all of this stuff has been asleep for a really long time.
Did you feel that you always knew that was your purpose? Because speaking from personal experience, I tried to kind of conform at times to a little bit more, easier listening music, if you will.
Right.
I shied away from the controversial, harder to receive content until more later years when I came into myself more. And then it became clear to me that the art needed to reflect what I knew and felt and breathed. Did you feel that way, or was it always kind of dormant? How did that work for you?
I kind of always knew that I would be making music for my life because it was kind of one of the only things I was good at. And it's like I really put all my focus into like, teaching myself the piano and like learning, how composition works and like what the strings are doing and all this stuff, right? Like I wanted to be really good at that from a young way. Yes. And I was really encouraged and fostered in that way by my family. And I was very, very fortunate in that way. Now, I will say like the political side of the awakening has come later.
Right. It's a beautiful thing to I think even recognize for yourself, for myself I did, and for yourself, like as you were saying, like at some point it clicked and it connected.
And that's what I've always been so inspired by what you do. And it's interesting to hear you talk about like the ways you've maybe, it's not always been easy to like step into that voice and to take up that space as, you know, a woman of color with opinions. Like that's a statement to be that person in the room. But you do that too, and you go on stage and you don't shy away from, you know, you're singing songs about the slave trade, you know, and like, you know, this stuff and stuff that is the re-education of this country.
It's beautiful to know and learn that your existence is acting as something that you never thought it could be. I just thought I was rapping. It was like, well, no, you're a Black female that raps. And it's just like, I didn't recognize as I was honing my craft that I was setting myself apart in that way. So it's such a beautiful thing. It's like that, of course that's your purpose. I'm so glad that we were both able to kind of find that, because I can't imagine like making music and like kind of being good at it, but like not having anything to say. Funnily enough, I find like the political side was always kind of there.
Oh, okay.
But I just tried to separate it from the music side because I was like, well, they don't need to correlate. Until I learned that like my existence is a political statement, and in fact, you can't escape it. And in fact, it's your niche. It's the thing that's gonna set you apart, and it's the thing that's gonna be a catapult for you to understand what your messaging is. That makes it you, and like, it's just beautiful that the conformity wasn't needed to be developed into the best version of your musical self.
What I was noticing in those first couple years of being in the music industry was like, you know, people win an award and go up and thank their manager, and, you know, that's great. But like my manager knows that I pay him. Like he's okay. He knows that I love what he does. I don't need to spend that time. Like go and use your platform to say something. We're a placeholder. We're holding this space for those 10 kids that we've inspired with what we do. We're speaking our truth from a very personal and also community-focused place.
In a mainstream way, we don't have the full scope of the history in this country. Like I as a Black person, am learning more about the history of Black people in this country, but also the history of Indigenous people in this country. Like I'm still learning things that I should know.
You know, I always say like there's a reason that we're all here in this place, right? Like every color of the world has come to this land for a reason, because that's where the healing is going to happen. You know, we got a lot of work to do, and I think the beautiful solidarities that are happening now between Black artists and Indigenous artists and that kind of movement. I think this is a movement. You know, and we're really going to see big changes coming forward.